Hi everybody. Hi. This is Jamie from Horizons Light Coaching and Consultation, and I'm here back again during the month of love, right? Month of relationships anyways. So we talked last week about casual friendships, acquaintances, and how to kind of interact with that. But today I really wanted to talk about closer relationships, and that could be with a significant other, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or even a spouse, and family members, brother, sister, child, parent, anyone like that. So people that are really important in our lives, that we have these really special relationships with. And yet, sometimes they're not all we want them to be, and sometimes they're more than we want them to be. Is that possible? Maybe. I'm not sure. But anyways, we have these relationships, and there's a few things I want to, talk about today, because they're really, really super important in learning how to manage those relationships with others. And the first thing I posted something on Monday about this, but I wanted to reemphasize it because it's so incredibly important. It's a quote, and I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it a long time ago when I was younger, and it really always struck my difficulties that I had in my childhood with my parents, and that was the concept that people will love you the only way they know how to love you. Sometimes people will love you the only way they know how. And that might not be the way you need them to love you, but it is still love. And so in my case, I had great parents that tried their best, but there is a lot that they didn't give me that I needed, and a lot that they did that ended up doing a lot of damage. But I always go back to the idea that, and this is what kind of got me through in my childhood to keep me from holding in a lot of that anger and resentment, was the idea that that I knew that even though it wasn't what I needed and I needed more and different, I did know that what they did give me and what they did offer came from a place of love. And they have their own backstory. They had their own backstory and how they were raised and how they were taught to love, which affected how they loved me, and so on and so forth. So all these important people in our lives, they may not know how to love us perfectly. And sometimes with the fact that they do love me. They may not love me exactly how I need them to love me or I want them to love me, but I can at least find comfort and peace in the fact that they do love me in their own way. And sometimes that may be all we can get. And that kind of sucks sometimes, but it is a point of radical acceptance that sometimes we have to come to. The other side of the coin, so that I feel like a lot of times that is something we need to think about with a lot of people. But the other side of the coin is a really important quote from Stephen Chbosky. He wrote the absolutely fantabulous book, Perks of Being a Wallflower. If you have not read it, please read it. It's just so good. He said, the quote, "We accept the love we think we deserve." So I'm going to say that again. We accept the love we think we deserve. So if you are caught up in an abusive or unhappy relationship, then you might want to ask yourself, am I accepting this abusive love because that's what I think is what I deserve? And that's it. If you believed in your heart that you were worthy of more, you're going to find that way to find more, to get more. But just like they said in that book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, we accept the love we think we deserve. And that is a reality. And you don't want to, doesn't mean that you have to throw away the people that don't love you in the way you need. Or rather, it means you accept the love that they're capable of offering, but still pursue the love that, and find the love that you deserve to have. And sometimes that might even just be love from yourself, because that's one of the hardest things to do sometimes, is to know how to love yourselves and how to accept love for yourself and show love to yourself. We have the relationship with ourselves is the longest one we will ever have. People can come and go, or maybe they'll stay, but no matter what, you are stuck with yourself. So that is always the first relationship you want to always work on. We'll talk more about that at the end of the month. So this week we're focusing on others that we love. So we have this concept of people will love us the only way they know how. And sometimes we need to accept that and find peace in that. And we accept the love we think we deserve, which means if we're not allowing ourselves to be given love that is good and great and fills us up and makes us happy, then we need to really relook at our own beliefs within ourselves. And then the other concept that is super important to know and understand is a concept that comes from Gary Chapman. He wrote a whole series of books called The 5 Love Languages. And he's written them, just the original 5 love languages, but then he's also written them for singles, for married couples, for teenagers, for children. So the 5 love languages. The idea behind this is that everyone has their own type of love language. And it's one of these 5. Typically. I mean, there's more than that, but this is his base level. So the first one is words of affirmation. Second one is gifts. Third one is works of service. Fourth is quality time. And then 5 is the love language of touch. And so each of us has a certain love language that builds us up and just makes us blossom and grow and just be so filled with love when we receive that. And when you're in relationships with people, it's important to consider and find out what is your love language, because it may not be the same as yours. So for me, my love language is quality time. And so I always look for those gifts of time with people, and that fills me up. Of course, my love language to give to others is gifts also. I don't love to receive gifts, but I love giving gifts and really finding what's really special and important to other people. So those are 2 of my love languages. But I have other friends who their love language is words of affirmation, and they don't want things. They certainly appreciate a material gift or time, but what really fills them up is when people give them those words of affirmation. They need that to just feel that so much love. And you'll find this in relationships, and a lot of counselors, like relationship counselors, will talk about this with people, is they will try and say and identify, well, what is your love language? And what is her love language? So if you're giving your girl or your guy, you're giving him all these gifts and showering her with jewelry and all of that, but if gifts aren't her love language, she might appreciate that, but she's going to feel more loved if you do what is in accordance with her love language. So maybe works of service, and when you decide to do the dishes at night for her, she is just going to feel so loved. On the other side of the coin then is to recognize what other people's love language is in that sense. So maybe their love language is to give is works of service. And so you might feel and think, well, my significant other, well, they never give me jewelry, or they don't tell me every day they love me, and I need that, and I love that, and that's important to me. But then you look a little closer and you realize that their love language for giving is works of service, and you see, well, he opens the door for me every time we get into the car, and he does the dishes for me without even thinking or saying anything, or he's always ready to fix the leaky sink for me. So it's important to recognize what other people's love languages are, so that you can recognize the love that they are trying to show you, and also be willing to verbalize, because as we all know, hands down, the most important thing with relationships is communication. So if you are not feeling the love that is in tune with your love language, you need to express that to your significant other or your family member and say, hey, you know what? I love this. I appreciate this. I'm so grateful that you're showing me love in this way. But you know what would mean just so much more to me is quality time. I just want time with you. I don't care about you spending me a whole bunch of money on me. It would mean the world to me to just go out and we'll go for a walk in the park together. Or maybe gifts is your love language, and you say, I recognize that you are showing me love by doing the dishes and by opening the door, but you know what? I really, it would mean so much to me, and it would make me feel so special if you got me something little just randomly, brought me home some flowers. And so those are where love languages come into play. And if you're interested in learning more, definitely check out the books by Gary Chapman, because this can really unlock a key in how to interact with others, whether it's friends, family, or loved one, or significant others, because that is how you learn to interact and fill each other up, which is what we want to do. It's all about communicating what we need, understanding what others need, and meeting each other instead of constantly just working in the opposite way. That's a coach, totally blanking on her name right now, but she talks about how we all have our own secret little written manuals, right? We have manuals we've written for what we expect from others and what we want from others, but so rarely do we actually share that manual with those loved ones of ours. We don't tell them, well, this is what love means to me, and if you love me, I think that you would do this, that, and the other thing. You would kiss me on the way out the door every day. You would tell me every day you love me. That's in my manual. And if you don't communicate what is in that manual that you have, then guess what? I don't know. They can't read minds. None of us can. I mean, I totally can. Not really, but I like to pretend I can. But so those are a few things that if you're in a relationship, and we're all in relationships, just like we talked last week, we're all in a relationship, whether it's with strangers, friends, casual friends, acquaintances, family, loved ones, significant others. We have so many relationships within our lives that are just constantly going. And the best way to enrich our lives with those great relationships with others is to understand love, to communicate, to understand that people are going to love you the only way they know how, and that's with their love language. And sometimes it's not enough for us, and that's okay. But we also have to communicate what our love language is and what is written in our manual and what we need to get that love. So we either need to accept that this is what they're capable of, and maybe that's just it, and that's them, and we accept them for who they are, or it's, I need to communicate this, and I accept the love I think I deserve, so I believe I deserve more. I believe I deserve this. I believe I deserve respect and appreciation and all of that. So those are a lot of levels in a very short amount of time about having relationships with your significant others and your family members. But I hope it gives you a little something to chew on and think about as you are approaching Valentine's Day, to be with your significant others, to be with your family, and to just give as much love as you can to all those people around you, and recognize what is the love language that is really going to fill them up. Is it words of affirmation, gifts, works of service, quality time, or touch? So it was so good connecting with you again. Next week we will be back again at 7:30, so check in, and remember, you deserve all the love that you can imagine. You deserve all the greatness, all the love, all the wonderful things that you want in your life. So remember that you deserve to accept that. All right? And give it too. Everybody deserves that love. Okay? Have a great day. Have a very happy Valentine's Day. Whether you are with somebody or not, you have people in your life one way or another, even if, like me, it's just my babies, my fur babies. Find those people or those animals that fill you up, and if not, just do it for you. Have a great week. Bye.